Hey everyone, if you've been waiting for news about stimulus checks, there's new information that could really matter for millions of Americans, and it could happen sooner than most expect. These aren't the kind of programs that take months to roll out or get stuck in political arguments. They're emergency relief payments designed to go out automatically within days once certain economic conditions are met. After reviewing recent congressional reports and proposals, I found details that could affect many families almost immediately once this plan is approved. Some people could see money in their accounts much faster than expected, but not everyone will qualify. Certain groups would be given priority, and I'll explain exactly who they are, what triggers the payments, and what you can do now to prepare. For those who don't know me, I've spent years studying and reporting on financial relief programs that support everyday families. I go through the long and confusing government documents so you don't have to. Like many of you, I've experienced the stress of watching my bank account and wondering when help might arrive. That's why I make these updates simple and clear, to help you understand what's really happening. So, what's being proposed? According to the new Economic Recovery Preparedness Act, which is currently being discussed in Congress, there's a section about automatic stabilizer payments, basically stimulus checks that would be released automatically whenever certain economic conditions worsen. The goal is not just to respond after a crisis, but to stop families from falling deeper into financial hardship while the economy struggles. Think of it like automatic financial protection that activates when the economy weakens. The payment amounts being proposed are similar to previous stimulus rounds: $1,200 for individuals, $2,400 for married couples, and $600 per dependent child. However, some people could receive more. Vulnerable groups such as those with disabilities might get up to $1,800 per person. The difference this time is that it would be automatic, no waiting for Congress to debate or vote. Once the economic conditions hit specific levels, the Treasury Department would send payments within 72 hours. Now, let's talk about who would be first in line for these payments. The proposal lists several priority groups. Single parents, those raising children alone, would receive payments first because they are often hit hardest during economic downturns. Veterans and military families. The plan includes special provisions to ensure veterans don't face long delays in receiving funds. People with disabilities. Enhanced payments are built in for those receiving disability benefits, recognizing that they can't easily increase their income when costs rise. Unemployed individuals. Anyone currently on unemployment or who has been unemployed in the last 6 months would be flagged for priority. Seniors on fixed incomes. Those receiving Social Security, SSI, or retirement benefits would automatically be included in the first round of payments. Even if you don't fit one of these categories, you could still qualify as long as you meet the income requirements. These thresholds are the same as before. Individuals earning under $75,000 and couples under $150,000 would receive full payments, while higher earners would see reduced amounts. Next, let's go over what actually triggers these automatic payments. The legislation outlines 4 main economic indicators. Rising unemployment. If national unemployment claims go up by more than 15% over a 4-week period, that's one trigger. High inflation on essentials. If food, housing, and energy prices increase by more than 6% for 2 months in a row, payments could be activated. Stock market decline. If the stock market drops more than 20% from recent highs and stays there for over 10 trading days, that's another trigger. Sector-specific job losses. If industries like retail, hospitality, or healthcare see sharp employment drops, that could also activate payments. These measures are designed so that help goes out as soon as data shows people are struggling, without waiting for new votes or laws. Once a trigger is hit, the Treasury Department must start processing payments within 3 days automatically. Here's the good news. The system for distributing payments already exists and is much faster now. The IRS upgraded its system after the last round of stimulus checks. If you've received payments before through direct deposit, your information is still stored. Anyone who filed taxes in 2023 or 2024 is already in the updated database. Even better, the law includes support for people who don't usually file taxes. Social Security and SSI recipients would automatically be included. If you had problems before, like moving or changing bank accounts, there's a new online system that will allow you to update your details instantly. The plan also includes partnerships with local organizations and banks to help people who don't have regular bank accounts. so more Americans can receive funds directly instead of waiting for checks. While this all sounds promising, there are still challenges ahead. The bill has bipartisan support so far, which is rare, but it must still pass both the House and Senate. Lawmakers are framing it as a plan for economic preparedness, not just a spending program. This helps attract support from both sides, including more conservative members. Still, even with this progress, the process takes time. The soonest it could become law is likely late 2025, meaning the automatic system might not fully function until 2026. However, there's talk of testing it earlier in pilot programs for states struggling most with unemployment or high costs. So, depending on where you live, you might see relief sooner than others. Let's continue from where we left off. While the idea of automatic stimulus payments sounds great, there are that amount would be enough to cover around 3 full rounds of checks at the standard payment levels. While that sounds like a large sum, it's actually a safety net to keep the system ready in case the economy slows down again. Even though the money wouldn't go out all at once, Congress must still approve the initial funding. That's one of the main hurdles. The good news is that because this plan is being presented as an economic preparedness measure, instead of just another round of spending, more lawmakers are open to supporting it. The idea is that if the system is ready in advance, it can prevent a full-blown financial crisis later, saving more money in the long run. Now, what can you do right now while this is still being debated? There are a few steps that can help you prepare so that, when relief becomes available, you're ready to receive it quickly and without any issues. Make sure your IRS information is up to date. If you've moved, changed banks, got married, had a baby, or experienced any other life change, be sure to file your 2024 taxes as soon as possible when the next tax season opens. Filing early keeps your records updated in the IRS system, which means any future stimulus payments will go to the correct account or address. Open a bank account if you don't already have one. Direct deposit is the fastest way to receive any type of relief payment. Even though paper checks are still available, they often take much longer to process. Many credit unions and community banks now offer free checking accounts with no minimum balance, so it's worth checking out your local options. Keep documentation of your financial situation. If you're unemployed, receiving disability benefits, or taking care of dependents, keep copies of any documents that prove your current circumstances. Even though the automatic payments are supposed to go out without extra paperwork, it's always smart to have proof ready in case you need to verify your status. Stay informed about your state's economy. Some states may be selected for early pilot programs. These would test the automatic payment system before it's rolled out nationwide. If your state has a higher unemployment rate or rising living costs, you might be one of the first to receive payments once these trials start. Following your state's labor and finance updates will help you know if your area is being considered. Don't rely completely on future government help. While these programs are promising, they're not guaranteed or immediate. It's still important to look into local assistance programs that are available right now. Many communities offer help with food, rent, utilities, or transportation costs. I'll include links to some national databases and resources where you can check what's available in your area. Now, let's talk about what this means in the bigger picture. Over the past few years, the U.S. has faced major financial challenges, rising prices, job losses, and a lot of uncertainty. Many people are still trying to recover, and it's clear that waiting months for Congress to agree on relief just isn't practical. That's why this proposal is so important. By creating an automatic system, the government wouldn't need to argue over every new round of payments. Instead, the relief would go out instantly when economic data shows people are struggling. This new approach reflects lessons learned from the past. During the previous crises, families had to wait for Congress to approve aid, and that delay often made things worse. The new system aims to stop that cycle. It's not just about fixing a problem after it happens. It's about preventing families from falling behind in the first place. There's also hope that once this system is in place, it could inspire other automatic support measures in the future, like rent assistance, utility credits, or emergency healthcare coverage during economic downturns. These programs could act as a shield for families during tough times, reducing the stress that comes with financial instability. But it's important to stay realistic. The legislative process takes time, and even though there's bipartisan support, there's no guarantee this proposal will pass exactly as written. Some lawmakers may want changes or additional requirements. The earliest we could see this system in action is likely 2026, unless a few states start pilot programs sooner. Still, the fact that lawmakers are seriously considering an automatic relief system shows that there's progress being made. For now, the best thing you can do is stay prepared and stay informed. Keep your personal records updated, follow reliable financial news sources, and sign up for updates from the IRS and Treasury Department. These are the first places that will post official information if the program becomes law. To wrap this up, I want to leave you with a message of hope. The last few years have been tough, and many Americans are still trying to rebuild their financial stability. But progress is being made, and for the first time, Congress is looking at ways to make financial help automatic, so people don't have to wait or wonder when relief will come. Even if this exact plan doesn't pass, the conversation about faster, smarter economic support is growing stronger. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing or following for updates.